Good morning, everyone, and actually welcome to Monday. We actually didn't end up filming anything yesterday on Sunday. It was just a really lazy day off. I'm not doing much of anything. We sat around and, well, I slept in pretty late. Then throughout the rest of the day, me and my niece and Giselle and my mom played some games like Uno and stuff and watched TV, and then some of my sister's bridal party came over, and then my sister and her new husband, Arthur, and her best friend were over for dinner, and we had dinner, and we watched a couple things on TV again. It was a really lazy day. We really didn't do anything, but now we're about to leave. It's a little bit past 7, and we're going to head out in probably in less than 10 to 15 minutes or so, and be on the road back to home. And we are off to another great start already, considering that it's raining again. Well, it's not pouring again right now, but it was pouring, and it's supposed to be raining again today, so that's lovely. Hopefully it doesn't rain the entire way back up like it did on the way down, but almost everything is packed at this point. And we are off. It's like almost 7:45 right now.
Yeah.
I think it's exactly 7:45 actually, so we were planning on leaving between 7 and 8, so we nailed it.
Woo!
I don't think we actually need to stop for gas or anything. I think we're pretty much set on that front, and we don't need to stop for anything else right now, do we?
I don't
think
so.
Giselle has breakfast. She got donuts yesterday, and I have breakfast. So we're just gonna head off, and I mean, this will be sort of like a little bit of a travel vlog, but then I'll probably just end up combining this with some other stuff we shoot this week, but let's go.
I'm tempting Christopher.
As always, she's so tempting.
He's been so good
I didn't have a single...
all for the 2 months.
Yeah, but I was kind of worried about myself on this trip. Like, Giselle's had some donuts, and there's been like tons of cupcakes, there's been tons of other sweets and stuff, but I haven't had any of it. Like I said when I talked about keto a couple vlogs ago, this is the strictest I've ever been with myself in my entire life, and I can't believe I'm pulling it off.
No, he's been doing so good. For real though. He didn't have any sweets at all. He had sushi with me, and that was it. Yeah,
and I don't think the sushi really affected me at all, because it was just one meal, so.
Yeah, 1 meal in 2 months, and then he also, like everything else, he either was like 100% keto, or he stayed as close to keto as he could.
Yeah,
he probably went over a little bit each day.
Yeah, it was mostly meat. I mean, the only thing that I can really think of that might have been not great was the crab cakes I ate at the wedding, but...
And some of the things had like sauce on them and stuff.
Yeah, sauce and
But like for the most part, he stayed like as close as he could, while not starving himself.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very impressed with him.
We're kind of stuck in traffic at the moment. We're about to go into the Baltimore Harbor Tunnel. We're about to go into the Baltimore Harbor Tunnel, and yeah, you can kind of see all the traffic. This is actually a different way than we usually go, but there's even more traffic, I guess, the regular way. I'm not sure, but fun stuff.
Very epicenter, a burned out, blackened dwarven figure with its right arm in the air, and on the end of the right arm is a silvery gauntlet.
And this is my lunch / dinner. It is 2:30 p.m. and we're a couple hours from our house, and we stopped at a mall, and I bought, it's a little bento box. It's just, they called it the beef bento box, so it's beef and fried chicken and a salad, which it's debatable whether or not I'll eat that, and some little dumplings and some California rolls. I'm thinking a little bit of garlic and not garlic, oh my gosh, ginger and wasabi as well.
Yeah, we were here for like a half hour.
Or longer.
A little bit longer than that. We came here because Giselle wanted to go to an Ulta to get this free thing, but they didn't have the free thing. But we still went to Ulta, which is inside this mall. And then we went to a Books A Million, and I bought this thing, which I was not expecting to buy. We were just like going to go see if they had anything. any books like on sale or whatever. But then they had this really cool like journal, like it said like handmade. It looks handmade, it feels handmade, leather journal, and it's got this like clasps on it. It's got a dragon.
Show the spine.
It's got a sword on the spine. I have actually been legitimately thinking about trying to start like keep a journal of like
a bullet journal.
No, not a bullet journal. Just like a. I don't know if I don't think I'll do it like quite like the way you do journals, but I just mean like writing stuff down about days that like.
Okay.
I don't know, just to have...
So more like actual journaling.
An actual journal, yeah, like actual journaling, but like...
Because Chris has a few journals, but they're all like writing journals.
Yeah, and this one I've just thought about... I've just been thinking about possibly keeping a journal of like life and stuff, and...
I don't know, and the older...
When Giselle held this up to me, she found it and was like, held it up to me, I was like, and I went and grabbed it from her, and I was like, I love this, and I kind of want it, so...
He got it.
I got it.
The older and more financially sound Christopher and I are getting, my lipstick's looking kind of ratchet. I apologize for that. But the more financially sound we're getting, the more we also just like want to support bookstores and want to support places like that, and are okay with spending a little bit more money on higher quality things at like places that we care about. And so it's like...
That's definitely something I feel like that I want. Like, when we were in there, it was like, if we had more money, like, we don't have enough money to spend everything, like, buy everything we want to, obviously, and that's kind of excess, and we don't need to do that. But, like, when we see something really cool that we, like, feel like we really want, then, sure, let's get it. This is just...
yeah, you could probably find that on Amazon for, like, $10 cheaper, but is it worth it?
Maybe, yeah.
Probably not.
I want to buy it from a bookstore that we were just, like, and Giselle bought these little... Alice.
We needed to get
bookmarks.
Over a certain price point to get some money off, and so this
I have a Books A Million membership, so it accidentally got renewed. I didn't technically like plan to keep my old Books A Million membership, but it's apparently been renewing and stuff. And I just give them my phone number and I got 20% off, and then adding this, we also got a $5 coupon off. So it's like.
Worth it.
Yeah, it was worth it.
And these are so cute. And the Mad Hatter has a little teapot and and cup on the back. It's so cute. I love it. And then I also did buy some stuff in Ulta as well, because they had a 20% off your whole purchase, which is really good for Ulta. It's not even just like the cheaper stuff. It's like high-end stuff as well. So I did end up getting something more functional and something more fun. So the functional thing was the Tarte Shape Tape, because this is my favorite concealer and I wear it every day that I wear makeup, and I love it and it's amazing. I'm wearing it today. And then I also bought the new Too Faced gingerbread scented matte limited edition liquefied matte longwear lipstick. There's a lot of words in that, but it's just this, it's the one that's on this side, and it's just like a nice color, and I really like this formula of lipstick. It's one of my favorites, so I also got those.
Giselle also got a frozen Baja Blast.
I did.
And because the Taco Bell was right next to, inside the mall, it was like right next to the Japanese place that had this, and like I said, the free thing that Giselle wanted from Ulta was not there, but whatevs. We're 2 hours away from home. We're gonna head there now.
Yes. Thank goodness. I'm excited to go home.
Same.
And of course, we're still listening to The Adventure Zone. And
episode 8.
Yeah, and we're already halfway done with it.
We started episode 1 on this trip, and now we're all the way at episode 8. Yeah. Halfway through it, more than halfway through it.
And we've now caught up with and passed where I was
originally.
So I was like on episode 5, so now we're far past that, and so it's all new for me too now.
And it's just as great as it was at the beginning. So you should listen to it if you like fantasy books and funny. Then I almost guarantee you'll like this. If you really like Kings of the Wild by Nicholas Eames, I think you'd like this. And if you didn't like that book, then I think you'd still like it, because it's got a lot more fun. It's like more personal. It's like actual people playing a D&D game, and it's like really fun. It's really fun. That's good.
I recommend, if you're okay with a strong language and content sometimes. One more really weird thing is that there's a Target inside the mall.
Which I've never seen before.
I've never seen before either.
It was super weird.
It was so weird. And that's also where the Ulta was. The Ulta was inside the mall. And there were like other things that were inside the mall that I've never seen inside a mall before. This is just a really weird mall. Hey, Sephora, we should go there.
No.
No. We're home now, and it's really cold, so we have the heat on because it was freezing when we came in. But now we are watching Avengers Infinity War because I never watched it when it came out. I was just a little, like, marveled out when it came out because we had binge watched.
We binge watched all of the Marvel movies from the MCU, just specifically from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because those are the only ones that matter at this point. So.
And we watched all of them except for
the first Thor movie and the first Captain America movie, because we remember them well enough, and I just kind of explained to her what they were, and neither of us really liked them very much, but we watched the rest of them.
I watched them when they came out, like, 10 years ago or whatever it was, and it was only, like, 8 years ago. They've done a lot in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But I watched them when they came out, and I wasn't impressed with them, and they actually made me stop watching the MCU, which I probably would have continued watching, except for both of those movies. I thought
most people probably find them boring. I like the first Captain America movie a lot more now that I've watched all these other ones. But
and I think I'll feel the same way, so maybe we'll go back and rewatch.
And I didn't start caring about Thor until the third Thor movie, Thor Ragnarok, which is incredible.
I still don't love Thor, but I mean I don't hate him either. But my favorite character, I don't know, my 2 favorite characters. 3 favorite characters. I really, 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 really love Bruce Banner, Steve Rogers, and what's his name? The Winter Soldier. I love the Winter Soldier. So those are like my 3 favorite characters, and I really enjoyed watching all of the movies. Like we watched them all in
we watched them all like back to back, like within this time span of a couple days. We watched like
it wasn't a couple days.
It was over a week.
It was like a week or 2 that we watched. It was like 18 movies or something stupid like that though. It was a lot, and then I went and saw Black Panther in theater, and then
we went and saw Black Panther because that had just come out. I had already seen Black Panther like 5 times, and then I went and saw Avengers myself like 8 times I think in theaters. I'll talk about that, and that's something we're gonna go over after, like, later on in the vlog, like movies and stuff that I'm gonna be seeing and have seen this year. But yeah, I went and saw it like 8 times in theaters because I loved it so much.
And I'm finally watching Infinity War though. So that's what we did. As soon as we came home, we kind of like decompressed for a tiny bit and then turned this on, and I'm enjoying it so far. It has it's had some quite funny scenes.
Yeah, and Giselle's
I've reheated my bento box.
Rest the bento box.
Yeah, this one I didn't reheat because I'm not going to put sushi in the microwave. But yeah, it's good, and I'll see how it is reheated. But I'm excited, and it wasn't a bad price for like getting 2 meals out of it. And we're going to finish this, and then Chris is going to go leave me tonight to go
see a movie. I'll talk to you more about that.
To see another movie, because watching 2 movies and driving 8 hours up here back to Massachusetts is not enough in a day, apparently.
She just finished it.
I feel traumatized. Traumatized for life. Not happy. I don't know how you could possibly willingly put yourself through the torture of watching that 8 times without part 2.
Well, because I just love the experience of seeing it in the theater with lots of people, and everyone like laughed at all the right times. Everyone like cheered a few times, and like it really hyped me up every time I went to see it. And like, yes, I was really sad at like certain parts, and it's the entire audience is like completely silent at parts towards the end. And I love that. It was like being at, like we went to like a Broadway show and we like saw it in an audience with people, and like everyone like cheered and clapped and like that kind of thing. And I love that. It was so much fun to watch it a bunch of times. That's why I kept going back because I love the movie and I love these characters, and I'm just become kind of obsessed with it. But anyway.
Yeah, that was a lot. And now, when does the next one come out? May? That's so far away.
Captain Marvel comes out in either February or March, I can't remember, and then the next comes out in May. We have to watch it.
I only have to wait 7 months.
Yeah, we have to watch Ant-Man and the Wasp now.
Which I liked Ant-Man. I didn't love it, but I did like it. So yeah, like Chris said,
it'll be a great palate cleanser.
It was a palate cleanser, and I'm like, I can see that because he's just a little bit more of a lighthearted character. Yeah. But that was very traumatizing, and I'm kind of in emotional turmoil now.
Did you enjoy it as a movie, like watching it? You seem to be enjoying it.
I guess, but I also hate being in pain.
But the movie is doing its job. It's doing its job at storytelling. That's the whole point of it. It's telling its story very well. It's making you emotionally invested, making you feel things, making you feel anxious. She was like clinging on to me during the entire like last act.
It was a lot. I'm glad Doctor Strange was in it though, because he's another favorite character, and I enjoyed seeing him. I don't love him as much in his story because like he's kind of a major turd at the beginning. The beginning especially,
Yeah,
but he grows much more likable. He's almost that like Peter Quill or Iron Man-esque character where they're like really snarky and
like,
kind of a dick.
But then I love how
I like his redemption story best out of all of them.
This movie really shows how different all their personalities are. Like they're similar, but they're all very. Yeah. They play off each other so interestingly. I love seeing all the characters play off each other. But.
Yeah, I really don't like Peter Quill though. I don't know, that's an unpopular opinion, but he really gets on my nerves, and so and being able to compare like him versus Doctor Strange versus Iron Man, I'm like, yeah, Doctor Strange is by far my favorite out of those three.
I just love Tony Stark's story. His arc over from the beginning to now is like incredible.
A lot, yeah. Anyway, it was good. It was just a lot. And now Chris says that I need to watch the Captain Marvel.
You want me to show her the Captain Marvel trailer? So.
Yeah. Another thing that I do want to mention is that the music is really, really good too. It's like when certain themes came in, I don't know, I don't want to spoil anything, but when certain themes came on, when certain people came on screen, it just like made me so happy and excited. It made a lot of
people happy. Those are the moments when people started cheering in the theaters because it was so awesome.
So, the music is very effective, and like overwatching, how many movies are in the MCU?
I had it in my head before, but I can't remember now. I think it's like 19. I think Infinity War is like the 19th one.
So overwatching about 15 to 20 movies, the music really does like get to you. And I really enjoyed that aspect. I have a hard
time with it like in the beginning, but like over time the music is really stuck.
Yes.
But Giselle wants to do an outfit of the day real quick.
I do. Does that make it better?
It's not really an outfit of the day. It's literally an outfit of the night. You just put it on when we got back.
I did. So this is... We never actually showed this, I don't think. Did we?
I don't think we actually ended up showing it.
I ended up buying this right after we got off
Grizzly River Run.
Yeah, that one.
There was a store right near Grizzly River Run that sold this, and we bought it.
I saw someone wearing it like the night before or something, and I was like, I love that. And then they like mentioned the place where they got it, and I ended up seeing it somewhere else and I got it there, but like I saw it from somebody else. But it's this Disneyland / California Adventure hoodie, and it says Disneyland Resort on the sleeve, but the sleeves are kind of long for me, but that's fine. And it's insanely soft inside. It's like super fuzzy, and I don't know, it's just very fun, and I really love it a lot. I mostly love the Disney stuff. I'm not as like attached to California Adventure, but then I also have these like spider web / spider leggings, and I love them, and they're super fuzzy and comfortable, and I got them at Walmart. And then I also have little unicorn slippers that are also super fuzzy and comfortable, and I also got these at Walmart. They were like $5, and I think these were like $8, and I feel so cozy and warm right now. And I love it, and this is pretty much what I'm gonna be wearing every day until like March, because it's super cozy and warm. I mean, I might have to layer extra stuff on top of it, but like I feel like this will keep me pretty warm through most of the winter as long as we have the heat on somewhat. I still feel like Winter Soldier is my favorite out of all of them. I just really, 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 really loved Winter Soldier. I mean, it had like...
I mean, that was everyone's favorite for a long time, yeah.
It's just like so good. I really loved that movie a lot, and there were a few others that I also loved, but I think that one's my favorite. This one was really good still, even though I'm severely traumatized by it. But what I do want to give major props to, and I know they've been like figuring this out for years and all this stuff, but like it was very effective in tying all these pieces together and tying all these characters together and making them meet in organic ways. Some of the times I was a little bit like, that's really convenient, but it all worked. Where it's like recently I've been reading from Samantha Young, and she can't even pull this off with like contemporary romance, where in a story she can't even make the people who are already friends interact organically because she just has too many characters. She has like 40 characters that are in this series now, and it's like frustrating to read her book because the whole time they're just trying to catch you up on everybody's lives. And it's like this freaking movie could do it in like 2 hours and do it way more effectively. And
I mean, it took us 18 movies to get here, but I mean,
yeah,
that helps, obviously.
but she has like 12 books that are all built off of each other. And this, I don't know, it was just like very frustrating reading her books now at this point because all you're doing is catching up on characters, where it's like this, you do catch up on characters, but you also actually progress them and there's a point for them being there rather than just like a nod. And I really appreciated that because I've seen it done so badly so many times, and this was really, really cool that all the characters came together for the most part.
That is really cool. So now, real quick, I'm gonna leave in like 10 minutes or so to go to a movie tonight at 9:45. The movie starts at 9:45 to go see First Man, which is a movie about the moon landing, directed by Damien Chazelle, who directed La La Land and Whiplash, both which I really liked quite a bit. Whiplash is one of my favorite movies of all time, and La La Land was very beautifully made. I have some problems with it, but it's very beautifully made. And this, I'm so excited about it. I'm ridiculously excited about this movie, and so I'm going to go see it. I'm actually going to see several movies this week. There's a few movies that came out last week that I want to go see, and a few movies that are coming out this week that I want to go see. And I can do that because I have this thing. Well, most people probably know about Movie Pass. I think that's what it's called, where you get to see it. They've changed their thing so much. I don't even know what it is now. But it used to be where you can go see a movie every day at any theater or whatever. But like there's so many restrictions on it, and you couldn't go see a movie more than once, which is what I want it for. Which is what I would have wanted it for. But then AMC released this thing called AMC Stubs A-List. You get to go see 3 movies every week for only $20 a month. A movie ticket is like $10. If you go see 2 movies, you've already paid for it. And if you go see more than that, all the rest of them are basically free. I have seen so many movies that it is unbelievably worth it for me. I go see movies so much. I already mentioned earlier that I went and saw, let's start at the beginning of the year. I went and saw Black Panther like 6 times in theaters because I loved it. And I went and saw Avengers Infinity War like 8 times in theaters because I loved it even more. And that was even before this AMC Stubs A-List thing was even a thing, because it wasn't, and I just paid for them. I did it on Fandango. If you get enough movies on Fandango, it eventually equals enough points to go get like free tickets and stuff, which was very helpful in being able to deal with it. But I was probably in excess and a little bit crazy for doing that. But now I have an excuse. I can go see 3 movies a week. I just hold up 4 fingers. I can go see 3 movies a week without really worrying about it because it's only $20 a month. And they also give you like points every time you spend something at AMC. And then once you get to a certain amount, you get like money off of things, and they give you like a 20%. I think it's what it is, a 20% discount at concessions. I don't know it might be a different percentage, but I know you get % off at concessions as well. Haven't really done that recently because I've been doing keto and there's really nothing to eat there. But tonight, this is like what the app is. I am going to see First Man. That's the one on the far left. And then I already know I'm going to want to see it twice. So I have a ticket for tomorrow as well. And I can always cancel it if I want to. It doesn't cost anything to cancel it. And I can always just use that reservation for something else. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to go see it tomorrow as well. And then the third one there is Bad Times at El Royale, which I'm going to go see on Wednesday. And then there's several movies that are coming out over the next week, or that came out last week or whatever, that I haven't seen yet that I want to go see. And this summer, when this thing started, I've gone to see so many movies. I went and saw Ant-Man and the Wasp, I think 3 times. And then I went and saw Incredibles 2 twice, which was amazing. I went and saw 8th Grade twice, which was also amazing. One of the best movies of the year for sure. I went and saw Black Klansman twice, which was also one of the best movies I've seen this year. And there was a couple others. A Simple Favor and Searching. And there's one more, Blind Spotting. I went and saw Blind Spotting as well. So like movies like that, Blind Spotting and A Simple Favor and Searching, I probably wouldn't have seen if I didn't have this. So like they were basically like free movies that I could just saw because I was able to, for like no extra charge. I just went into the movies to see these movies that I might not have seen before, and I liked all 3 of them. I really liked all 3 of them. They were all really good. I was really surprised about A Simple Favor liking that one. Searching, I wasn't really even sure what it was about. I just went and saw it. Same with Blind Spotting. I had no idea what it was about, and I went and saw it, and that was really good. There's a few other movies that I've missed that I would have liked to have seen, but I mean, other than that, like, I've been pretty lucky. I've been able to see a lot of these movies, and I just saw Venom, which was really ridiculous. Not a very good movie, but was really fun to watch, especially in the audience. It was pretty fun to watch, even though it was not very good. And I'm kind of really annoyed at Sony for even making it in the first place. It's not a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like what we just watched, Infinity War. It has nothing to do with that whatsoever. Sony's just doing their own thing because they own Spider-Man and all the Spider-Man villains. Sony and Marvel Studios have worked together to allow a Spider-Man movie to be made, which is what the newest Spider-Man movie just was, Spider-Man Homecoming. That was made by Sony and Marvel working together, and Sony got all of the money from that movie. But now, then they also, there was an agreement for that, but then they're also allowed to use Spider-Man in both Captain America Civil War and Avengers Infinity War. So they've come into a certain agreement for Spider-Man, but like the Spider-Man villains, like Venom, for some reason they decided to make a movie about Venom that had nothing to do with Spider-Man, which was a terrible decision, and I kind of hate them for doing it, because they've just muddied everything. And like there's still 20th Century Fox, which now Disney owns, which means Marvel can make movies that 21st Century Fox used to own, like Fantastic Four and X-Men. 21st Century Fox has just been making awful, like, some of them are good. Like, I really liked Logan, though, but like, I don't know, they've just been kind of muddying the waters of Marvel for a while now, when the Marvel Cinematic Universe has been going on for over 10 years now, and they've been trying to make a cohesive universe, and everything's just getting confusing because all these extra people are making extra movies like Venom, so that annoys me. But anyway, I've kind of rambled on. There's a few other movies I want to go see this week. I'll show those to you in a second. I'm thinking about possibly going to see A Star is Born. I like musicals, and it's gotten a really good rating on Rotten Tomatoes, so it's a possibility. Oh, and yeah, I did go see A House with a Clock in its Walls. Where's that at? This movie right here. I did go and see that, and it wasn't very good. Didn't like it very much. I'm going to go see The Hate U Give at some point this week. And let's see, coming soon. Some of these movies are pretty out of order. I don't think I'm going to go see Halloween, but it's a possibility. I'm not entirely sure. Let's see what comes out very soon. Beautiful Boy is supposed to come out soon, but I'm not sure when this theater is going to get it. This theater this theater usually always gets like the really indie movies, but they kind of get it at random times sometimes, so I have to look out for it. I'm definitely going to see Mid-90s, which is directed by Jonah Hill and looks freaking incredible. And then there's one more in this list, I'm pretty sure, that's showing, yes, Wildlife. This is Wildlife with Jake Gyllenhaal, who is my favorite, and Carey Mulligan, and then Paul Dano directed it, and I really love him. This is his first movie that he's directed, so I'm really excited to go see that. So yeah, that's actually everything I just showed you. Hopefully it all comes out in the time span that I want it to, which will make it so I'll be able to go see all of them pretty much like in a row this week, which will be a nice like little fun thing to do after work.
Okay, so it's now the next night, and Christopher was gonna go see another movie, but instead I convinced him to stay home and watch a movie with me instead, which is something he never thought would happen, right? So I convinced him to stay home with me, and we ended up watching Ant-Man and the Wasp, which Chris has already seen. I have not, obviously. I just sat on your phone and it hurt. And so I thought I would give updates since we just watched Infinity War yesterday. And I did like it. It was much more lighthearted. Something that I've noticed about the Marvel movies is that the characters spend a lot of time standing and talking in the middle of like battle scenes or super intense moments. And I really wish they wouldn't, because it makes me very frustrated. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you talking? Talk about it later. Like,
they can do action and talk at the same time.
But it always puts them at a disadvantage, which is why it bothers me, is that whenever they do it, they get put at a disadvantage and attacked again. And I'm like, well, yeah, no crap. Of course you're going to get attacked if you just stand and make... half of it isn't even serious talk. Half of it's just them cracking jokes. And so that would... I mean, what's the guy's name in this?
Ant-Man?
Yeah.
What's his actual name?
Yeah.
Scott Lang.
So Scott, who is Ant-Man, is like another one of those like very snarky, cracks jokes all the time characters, which Marvel really likes. And sometimes he would, like, start making jokes in the most, like, serious moments when, like, everyone's about to die or something, and it's like, maybe not right now, maybe wait. So that would be, like, maybe my biggest complaint. But I did enjoy it, and the first credit end...
After credits
scene, because there's a second one at the very end, and, like, but the first one, oh my gosh, I'm very excited for the next Avengers. I don't know what it's called yet. Nobody knows what it's called yet, but dang it. It's good that I watched Infinity War so much later, though, because I have less time to wait.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll rewatch all the Marvel movies between now and coming out.
You'll have to go see Captain Marvel with me, and then we can go see the next Avengers.
Maybe I'll wait for that one to come out, and I'll watch it. Like, come out, like, on DVD, and then I'll watch that, and then I can go see the other one in theaters.
We'll see.
I don't know. But I liked it. I think I liked it better than the last one. I think so.
The first Ant-Man?
Yeah. I think I like this one better. Yay.
So it's actually a couple days later now. I went and saw First Man that night. I got back like at 1 a.m. I think, and then ended up staying up until like 3 a.m. for some reason. I just wasn't tired at all, and well, I was tired, but like I didn't think I'd be able to fall asleep. And I wrote a little bit in that journal that I bought on the way back that I showed you. And yeah, I really, really liked the movie. I didn't go see it again yesterday. I decided to sleep instead. I really, really, really needed sleep. So I just decided to stay home and sleep. I decided to use... I realized that if I went and saw that, I wouldn't be able to see something tomorrow, Thursday. Today's Wednesday. I want to go see The Hate You Give tomorrow. And so like I said, resets on Friday. So it goes from Friday to Thursday, and then it resets every Friday. So I've already used... I'll use one tonight, I used one on Monday, and then I'll use one tomorrow on Thursday. So instead of seeing the same movie twice, I decided to use it on a different movie because there's still several movies I want to use for next week's 3. Once again, I held up 4 fingers. I didn't mean to do that. 3. But yeah, so I saw First Man. I really, really liked it. It was super intense, like really intense. The way the director, Damien Chazelle, shot it and decided to do it, the way he decided to put it together was so interesting. Like, you get the sense as someone watching it that, at least I did, that none of the dialogue mattered. There was not a lot of dialogue throughout the movie, and like the things that was dialogue, the things that were dialogue that weren't specifically focused on, like there was a lot of times where like there was just people talking and it wasn't necessarily the focus. It didn't feel like the focus of anything. And it was really interesting. Like, the dialogue didn't seem to matter that much. It really seemed to matter. What really seemed to matter was Neil Armstrong himself. Neil Armstrong was, like, the really big focus of this, which I knew that, but I also didn't realize just how much of a focus he would be. And I didn't really know that much about him, but apparently he was a very, like, I read a bit about him online after I watched the movie, and he was a very stoic person, very humble, very quiet, and even the way Ryan Gosling plays him is just like really, really well done. And I really just like, I felt his performance. It was just so good, and the way that Damien Chazelle decided to film everything made the movie so intense, because like this is a story that we all know. I mean, most people at least know some things about the moon landing, like the first words that he says as he steps onto it, and like the planting of the American flag, and like the kind of race against Russia and stuff, the Soviet Union, and all that kind of stuff. But there's so much else. There's so much more stuff that Neil Armstrong did that led up to this. So many other things that happened, and you still probably know a pretty decent amount about that. So there's no like mystery. Like, are they gonna do it? Like, who knows? Find out. No, you know they're gonna do it. You know they're gonna land eventually. But so the way he makes it intense and like makes you invested in it is that he like makes you feel every movement of everything. Like when you're seeing in a space capsule with one of the astronauts, you're like looking at them and they're shaking. The camera's like shaking like crazy. Everything is handheld, but this is like shaking like crazy, and you're just like seeing nothing but a vibrating like crazy blur of a character. And then when you're seeing the outside of the ship, a lot of times there's like spinning, and it's just the camera's just strapped to the vehicle that they're in, and so the background is just spinning around them, and it's super dizzying and disorienting and makes you extremely anxious, and that mixed with the music and just the tone of what's happening, it's like, and the editing and stuff, it works really well to make you feel anxious and dizzy and intense. It's just, there's a lot going on, and it was really good. I kind of felt sort of detached from things, from like the dialogue aspect of it, and from like the storytelling aspect of it, but like, and then they don't really focus anything on the technicalities of how they did it. They really focus on Neil Armstrong and the intensity of being put into this situation, the intensity of being in that situation, of being sent off into space, and it's really cool. And yeah, so that's cool. I liked it. I really liked it a lot. I would like to go see it again if I do have the opportunity. I'm not sure if I will or not to see it in theaters, but I suggest it. I suggest you go see it. So this is the theater that I always go to. It is an AMC dine-in theater, and right now I'm going to go see Bad Times at the El Royale, which has Chris Hemsworth in it. I don't really know anything about this movie, if I'm being honest. I just want to go see it because I can. Well then, it's over now. Flash forward a couple hours. I didn't actually know how long the movie was before I went in, but it was about 2.5 hours long. So, I really liked it. Like I said, I didn't know much about it going in, but it was kind of like a neo-noir thriller kind of thing, and it was really good. I really enjoyed watching it. It was very, like, theatrical. Like, it felt very theater. Most of the movie takes place in one setting, in the El Royale hotel. Basically, it's this hotel that is right on the border of Nevada and California. Half the hotel is on Nevada and half the hotel is on California, and there's a line going right down the middle. And there's a lot of really cool ideas in this. So it was basically this one setting, and that felt like a set. It felt like a stage that we were watching as an audience. And there's a lot of really cool ideas of like how it was set up, and some really interesting things just in the set design and in how and where the actors were placed and stuff. And the actors did a really good job portraying the characters. The characters were interesting, and the story was a lot of fun. It was quite engrossing. I felt really into it from the first scene on. Like the setup of the first scene especially gives you like this, like you're watching a stage kind of thing, and this guy is kind of doing these things, and the camera doesn't move, and you're just watching these things, and the lighting is really nice, the cinematography is really nice, the direction in general, and the art direction is just, it was all really good. I recommend it. I quite liked it. I had a fun time watching it. I mean, fun, like there's, I don't know, it's a thriller, but it was engrossing is how I would describe it. And like I said, I would suggest you give it a shot if that sounds interesting to you. So it has been a couple weeks actually since I last talked to you on this vlog. We've been simultaneously filming a couple other vlogs that I'm excited about. Not to say that they're necessarily exciting or will be exciting to you, but they were fun to film. So there will be like another vlog that kind of goes over a couple weeks that we missed in this vlog. But basically, I wanted to make the rest of this vlog about about all the movies I went to see, and going to see movies using the AMC A-list thing, because I knew I was going to be seeing a lot of movies during those weeks. So I decided to kind of dedicate this vlog to just that. I already told you about First Man and Bad Times at the El Royale, and then a couple days after that I went and saw The Hate U Give. I went and saw that on opening night, I believe, and it was really good. I didn't really know that much about it. I knew like basically what the story was about, but I've never read the book, and I wasn't sure I had an interest in reading the book because I don't really read very much young adult, but this movie was really good. I really enjoyed it. It was definitely very affecting, and you could tell that it was very affecting to everyone in the audience, and the acting was pretty good, especially the main character and the guy who played her dad was really good. He kind of, to me, he really like stole a lot of the scenes that he was in. He was really good, and the kid who, well, I don't know if this is a spoiler or not. I mean, it's kind of like the inciting incident of the movie, and it's like what the movie is about. so I don't feel like it's spoiler. Like, I feel like it's a spoiler. The kid who is shot by a cop, the kid who plays him did a really good job, and some of the acting around, like, that, like, core group of cast members wasn't that great. Like, the core cast was good, but some of the acting was not great. But overall, the movie was really well made, and it actually got me interested in reading the book. And yeah, I think it was a good movie, and it's a good movie for people to go see. So if you haven't seen it yet, I don't know if it's still in theaters or not, but if you haven't seen it yet, you should definitely give it a shot. And then after that, the next day, I actually went and saw Bad Times at the El Royale again, because it was just a lot of fun. I found myself just, like, thinking about it and just really enjoying the way it was made. It kind of reminded me a little bit of, like, a mix between, like, the Coen brothers and Wes Anderson and Quentin Tarantino, a mashup of those directors. And I really enjoyed seeing it the second time. I saw some things, noticed some things that I missed, obviously, the first time. Some certain ways that characters behave and certain things that they do is just, like, stands out more the second time you see it. And it really worked for me. I know it didn't, like, get the best reviews. Not everybody loved it, but I really liked it from beginning to end. I thought it was definitely one of the most entertaining movies I've seen recently, and I felt very happy that I got to see it again. And then I went and saw The Sisters Brothers a couple days after that, which I was really excited to go see and really wanted to go see, and I was waiting for it to come to the theater. It came a little bit late to the theater. And I mean, it's okay, so it has some really talented actors in it. Really talented actors. Jake Gyllenhaal is my favorite actor of all time, and Joaquin Phoenix is one of my favorite actors, and Riz Ahmed and John C. Reilly, they're, like, all really good. And I have no idea that Riz Ahmed was in this movie. And he was, like, kind of paired up with Jake Gyllenhaal, and it was really fun, because, I mean, I don't know if you've seen the movie Nightcrawler or not, but that's one of my favorite movies of all time. If you haven't seen it, then you should go see it. It's incredible. But those two are, like, the two main actors in Nightcrawler, and seeing them together in this was really fun. And then Joaquin Phoenix and John C. Reilly were like the Sisters Brothers. Their last name is Sisters. And so it was really weird. I really liked parts of it, but the writing was so freaking bizarre. That sometimes the writing was really good, but sometimes it was really freaking bizarre. Based on the trailers, I thought it would be like a comedy, and it really wasn't a comedy. I mean, there were some funny parts, but it really wasn't a comedy at all, which I felt like the trailer kind of portrayed it as one. And a mix of the direction and the writing was really weird, because these are really talented actors, and you could tell that the direction that they were given was super bizarre. The things that they were told to do and say just, like, felt really stilted and odd, and just, like, it's just a really bizarre movie, really strange experience. And the whole time I just was thinking that to myself, like, just kind of, like, leaning back in my seat, just, like, with my eyes just, like, what is happening? This is, I mean, not towards the story, like, the story is pretty easy to understand, but yeah, the whole time I was just like, this is so weird. I don't know how to feel about this. And I thought about it more as time went on, like, over the next few days after I saw it, and I realized that I actually did really enjoy it, like, certain bits of it. And overall, I would say it was definitely worth seeing. I'm not sure I would want to watch it again, but yeah, I don't know. That was a weird one. I did think overall, after going to see it and, like, thinking on it a few days, I did like it, but in the moment it was super weird. Then I went and saw the movie Mid-90s, which is directed and written by Jonah Hill, who I love, and I've just loved to see him branch out into more serious roles recently. His performance in The Wolf of Wall Street, even though I don't really like that movie very much, his performance in that movie is incredible, and you just, like, completely lose him in that movie. And he just had a lot of good stuff recently, and I was really excited to see this. So I mean, some of these movies are, like, considered independent movies, like the Sisters Brothers, and a couple that I'll talk about in a second. But, like, this one, amongst independent movies that I've seen recently, this one felt definitely the like most independent. It felt like it was shot on like Super 8 film, which maybe it was. It kind of looks like it was. It was like more of a square looking format. It wasn't a perfect square, but it was more of a square format, and definitely shot on film. And every actor seemed super like amateur, but like there was a lot of heart to the way that they portrayed their characters. The main character was really, really good, and like if you look that kid up, he's amazing at skateboarding. He has to like fake being really bad at it throughout the movie, but he's actually really, really good at it. It's kind of awesome. He's like super young. That's what Jonah Hill went out and did. He like found skateboarders who like who actually knew what they were doing, and like put them and made them actors into this movie. And I really liked it. It was a lot of fun. Very, very, very nostalgic. One of the most nostalgic movies I feel like I've ever seen, and I really felt it. Like I felt it very strongly. Like the plot wasn't super. It wasn't super plot heavy. There was quite a lot of dialogue, quite a lot of conversation. There wasn't a huge amount of plot, but overall, it was quite enjoyable. And if you like, it wasn't a skateboarding movie, but if you like watching skateboarding movies, or like if you like just coming of age tales in general, I think you'd really like it. I think you'd really appreciate the craft that went into making it, because you could tell he like put his whole heart and soul into this. Like it felt so handmade, and just like he really put himself into it, and I love that about it. And then a couple days before Halloween, I went and saw the movie Halloween, the new one that just came out. And now I think I've seen the original like first couple, and I don't really remember them very well, or at least seen pieces of different ones. And I've never really been a big fan of this genre before, like slasher movies. And I gave this a shot because the trailer, I went and saw a movie, I don't remember which one it was, and I saw the trailer for it, and I was like, oh, that actually looks kind of good. And it was getting good reviews, like really good reviews. And so I was like, I'm gonna go see it. I'm gonna see what I think of this one. I went and saw it, and I hated it a lot. I hated it so much. I didn't like the movie at all. But another thing that I didn't like about it was, well, the theater was completely packed, which I usually love. And I sat next to this guy. I mean, I love when a theater is packed, but I also don't like when people are sitting next to me. That's like kind of a contradiction. But I was kind of upset that like someone took the seat next to me, but I think the theater was probably sold out, so that's probably why. But it was just this other guy who was there by himself, I guess. And I just, the audience reactions to things that happen in the movie just made me mad. Just like, it pissed me off. I don't know. The whole movie pissed me off. I hated it. It's just like so pointless and stupid and just vapid. This dude going around and stabbing people and beating them over the head with hammers and just killing people and like showing it, and like people, the guy next to me and other people in the theater like laughing every time he would kill someone, and like someone would die and people would be like laugh or like have this weird reaction to it. It was just like, it felt dirty, it felt gross, and it was gross, and it just kind of sickened me the whole time. I don't remember, I usually don't go see movies that I don't think I'm gonna like very much, and this was like a super huge like risk, I guess, in that regard. Like, I didn't know if I would like it or not, but I wanted to give it a chance. And I don't remember a time in a movie theater where I've wanted to leave more. Like, I went to the bathroom a couple times because like I just didn't care what was happening. I wanted very badly for the movie to just be over, and so I didn't have to keep watching it. And I haven't felt that way about a movie in a really long time. Like a really long time. I don't remember the last time I felt that way about a movie, especially going to see one in theater, because I usually never wasted my like money to go see in theater, but it was pretty much free to go see it, so I just went and saw it. But I hated it a lot. I really, really, really hated it. I hate everything that it is. That's just not for me, I guess. Slasher, horror. It's just not even horror. It's just gross awfulness. I don't know. It was awful. I hated it. So, and then I was going to go see Beautiful Boy, because that finally got put into theater. One of the movies that I wanted to go see was Wildlife, which was directed by Paul Dano. It had Carey Mulligan and Jake Gyllenhaal in it, and I wanted to go see it. It's like one of my most anticipated movies of the year. Literally, I've been looking forward to it because I love Paul Dano, I love Jake Gyllenhaal, and I just wanted to go see it really badly. And this theater usually gets all the movies, like all of them. And I even saw a trailer for this movie in the theater when I went and saw another movie. But they never put this movie in the theater, Wildlife. They never put it in the theater. Like, even for a day, I checked every single day and, like, checked ahead, and, like, it never came out. They never got it. And the only theater around here that got it was, like, in Boston. I wasn't going to drive, like, an hour away to Boston to go see it. So I'll just have to wait until I can get it some other way, which stinks. I really wanted to go see it. But I was going to go see Beautiful Boy, which is another independent movie with Timothy Chalamet and Steve Carell. But the night I went to go see it, I got there and they were like, oh, the projector for that movie stopped working, and so you can't see it. And so I was like, oh, crap. So I, like, looked at my phone real quick to see what movies were playing, like, around the same time, and 15 minutes later, Bohemian Rhapsody was going to play. Now, I wasn't sure if I wanted to see this in theaters because I have a lot of issues with the way it was produced. I hate that they only gave Bryan Singer director credit. Bryan Singer is a horrible person. If you don't know much about him, then you should look him up. There's a movie, documentary called, I think it's called An Open Secret or something, about, like, pedophilia in Hollywood, and it's mostly and directed towards him, and I have no idea why he still exists in Hollywood. No idea whatsoever. And then he had, like, huge temper tantrums on set, and then, like, this other director came and basically directed the whole movie, but Bryan Singer got full director credit, and the other director got no credit whatsoever. And so I just didn't want to support it, but I still wanted to see it, and it wasn't getting the greatest reviews, but I still wanted to see it because I love Queen, and I mean, who doesn't? And who isn't interested in seeing more about it, more about them, and more about Freddie Mercury. So I went and saw that, and it was really fun. It didn't really know what it wanted to be. I feel like it really wanted to be a biopic about Freddie Mercury, but didn't quite know how to do that, and was kind of really, really, really all over the place, and just the pacing was all over the place, and a lot of it just felt like little tiny snippets of individual things, which I guess they were kind of forced to do because they wanted to show so much. But overall, like, that's like my negative things to say about it. But I actually really enjoyed the experience of watching it. It was really invigorating, especially the last 20 minutes were super invigorating. Just gave me, like, really pumped me up, and you could tell the whole audience was super into it because they were, like, singing along with the songs. Like, basically the last 20 minutes is like the entirety of their Live Aid set that they performed. The audience is, like, gigantic, and it's just like these, like, sweeping camera moves over the band, and, like, these inspirational, like, looks from the band members and the people looking on, and, like, the sweeping camera movements over the audience, and just, like, all this, like, epic craziness over top of just, like, them performing full songs and stuff. And it was really intense, and, like, people were singing along and stuff, and in the theater, and it was great. But yeah, I did enjoy the experience of watching it, even though I had some issues with it. But and then I did go and eventually go see Beautiful Boy, which was really good, very, very incredibly written and acted and directed and just made. It was really beautiful. There was a lot of really beautiful shots, and you know, it felt sort of heavy-handed at some points, and you know, I have some slight issues with the way the story was put together, just like in terms of like pacing and like where they put the emotional impact. Like, I don't know, there was a lot of really weird back and forth, and just like I don't know. I really enjoyed it though. It was really good. I highly recommend it. If you were interested in seeing it, you should totally go see it. So yeah, that's it. That's like 9 movies in 3 weeks, which was pretty fun. And this vlog is probably pretty long because I just like talked about movies the whole time, and I'm sorry for that. It's so long, but hope you enjoyed it at least a little bit and got a couple of movie recommendations. Maybe I don't recommend Halloween. Don't go see that, but the rest of them I can pretty much recommend. So thank you guys so much for watching. I think that's it for now. Like I said, there will be other vlogs. There's already 2.5 vlogs filmed, besides this one, that are going to be releasing very soon. The only reason, and I also apologize for the length in between the first vlog of us in Maryland and the second one. Like, there was like 3 weeks in between, because in between editing that first Maryland vlog and editing a wedding video for my sister. I shot all this footage for her and like put together this wedding video of this like just all the footage that I took for her specifically. I cut a lot of that for the actual of our vlog, but I made this wedding video for her that when I edited it, it had the Adobe Premiere, the program that I use, Adobe Premiere, the editing program. It had just updated it again to 2019, and the update screwed up everything, and it made it take like 50 hours to export that, and like I eventually got it down to like a little bit less, but it took a really long time to export, and I just didn't want to edit anything else and like make it take that long until there was an update again, and then there was an update, and I just exported another vlog, that wedding vlog, and it only took like an hour, so it's fixed. So I'm perfectly fine to edit stuff now, which is great. So you'll see stuff very soon. Anyway, this is so long. I'm so sorry. Thank you guys so much for watching. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you for being so patient. And yeah, you will see more from us very, very soon.